Welcome to our live event, How to Apply the $100 Million Series to Your Home Service Business Without Guessing or Overcomplicating It. My name is Phil Risher, and I'm the owner of Flash Consulting. The agenda that we have for today is, how do I know this stuff? We're going to go through each book, $100 million offers. I'm going to give you a real case study walkthrough. We're actually going to do two. We're going to do one from a digital perspective, and then I'm also going to give you a free call script of how you lay out the Grand Slam offer, and we're going to do it on memberships. So I know y'all have questions about memberships, and usually that's the stickiest one that people get tripped up on. So I'm going to give you a free call script on how to do that. We're going to go through the $100 million leads book. We're going to go through the 4 different ways to get new customers, and I'm going to walk you through that. We're going to go through $100 million money models and the free 14 home service offers. I'm going to give this to you free, which is 14 home service business offers. And then we're going to talk about what to do first based off of where your business is at. So it's going to be action-packed, should be hopefully around 40 minutes. I'm going to try to get through this pretty quickly. As I mentioned at the top, I am live. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'm going to try to make this as relevant as possible. Real quick, how do I know this stuff? So obviously, I read the books. I've been listening to Hormozi for almost 8 years now. I listened before I even started my business, all the way back when he was in the gym stuff. So I was like probably one of his top, when he started his YouTube channel, like first 1,000 subscribers, because I was listening to him on a podcast when he came into YouTube. And I obviously read the books for my business, but then I also look at the filter of how does this make sense for home service businesses? Because I know he started a gym. That's more of a local service business. What we do in home service is more, people have issues. We help them solve the issues, and we need to make sure that they turn into different things, right? They need to come in and get upsold and then have different offers on the back end. It's not as cut and dry as like a SaaS or a local service business. And so this is what we're talking about today. Awesome. Let's get into the $100 million offers book. And in this book, he has two main things, which is the first is the value equation. And I'm going to go through and break down the value equation, and then we're going to talk about Grand Slam offers. So the value equation that he breaks down is dream outcome, perceived likelihood of achievement, divided by time delay and effort and sacrifice. So when we talk about dream outcome for your client, let's say it's not, hey, I want a new bathroom, or it's not, hey, I want to get my windows cleaned or my gutters cleaned. It's that I want a safe house that my roof doesn't leak when it rains, or I want a beautiful bathroom that I enjoy going into and taking a shower in. So figuring out what the dream outcome in home service in particular, a lot of times people call us because they think that they've diagnosed their problem when they don't really know, and we have to uncover the dream outcome. And when we go through the call script, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But uncovering the dream outcome, then we need to times that by the perceived likelihood of achievement. Why should they believe that you will deliver? There's a way to do this on the digital side, and then there's a way to do this inside of our conversion funnel. And we're going to go through both. Some of the ways is guarantees, reviews, photos, proof, process, clarity, authority. People don't need to believe the outcome is possible. They need to believe that you can make it happen. And a lot of times they do this in two parts. They do this in the front end, which is they see your business, your website, your presence online. And then inside of your sales process, they call in and talk to your CSR, or they work with the salesperson. And in home service, we have to make sure that both of these are locked in, because they make two decisions: one to call us, one to sell, one to go with us as the option. And then this is divided by time delay versus effort and sacrifice. So time delay, obviously, how fast do they get the relief? Priority scheduling, same day, next day. Is the bathroom tomorrow, or is it in 10 weeks when it takes me to order all the stuff? So the faster the pain goes away, the more valuable the offer. Same thing with effort and sacrifice. Do I need to be there all day? Do I have decision fatigue? Are you going to make a mess at my house? Do you send cleaners afterwards to clean up after my house? Do I need to be home? No, we clean your gutters when you're not home. All of these things go into it. Now, what Hormozi talks about is underneath of this threshold line, the time delay and the effort. This is how you actually drive up the perceived value of your business. For example, let's say that the dream outcome is a six-pack abs, which is the example that he uses a lot. Dream outcome is six-pack abs, perceived likelihood of achievement. If I go to the gym, I can get a six-pack abs, and I think that I'll do that. However, the time delay is that I have to go to the gym for 10 months, and I have to go every single day, and I have to watch my diet. The value for that is low. And the example that he gives is six-pack abs. You could just take this pill, and there's 1,000 case studies that people are going to get a six-pack. And it takes 10 minutes to work, and you just pop the pill and take a drink. Value is way higher. So what I'm articulating here is that if you can drive down time delay and effort and sacrifice, your perceived value and differentiation in your market is going to go way up. And we're going to talk about how to do this. So when we look at how to build value digitally for home service businesses, I'm going to go through a couple examples here, but just if we talk about this, the dream outcome, showing visuals of protected homes, visuals of bathrooms being remodeled, visuals of gutters being cleaned. So in this example, this is a gutter cleaning company that we work with. He uses Company Cam, which I would recommend for any business that does any type of service is using Company Cam. And you can show like before and after pictures. You can literally go through all these different pictures right here and see the before and after pictures. And you can use these in your sales process. So this shows that, yes, we can do this thing and this is your desired outcome. The other thing is having it front and center on your website. Like right when someone comes to your website, this is what we do, perceived likelihood of achievement and desired outcome right here. So we go back to this equation, visuals of protected homes, real photos, reviews, and videos. Another thing is make sure that you add your reviews to your website so that way people can read through your reviews. Make sure you have 5-star reviews from a Google business profile perspective. All of those things, the reason I put these yellow is because like we already pretty much already do this, and most like good businesses are going to do this. They're going to do this upfront on their website, in their Google business profile, on their ads, on their platforms. They're also going to do this in the sales process, and they're going to show people the reviews. They're going to show before and afters. They're going to do all this stuff. The real drivers, in my opinion, is below the line, just like with him, which is time delay and effort. So, and this is specifically from a digital perspective. I'm going to give you a real script in a second of like inside of your business. But before we do that, from a digital perspective, the first thing to remove time delay is to add online booking and instant estimates up front. So at my home service business, we were a $3 million business when I was director of business development there. And the first thing we did when I went there was we need to add online scheduling and we need to build an estimate calculator. This still to this day, this was 8 years ago, still to this day gets over 200 leads per month for this business by having online booking and estimate calculator on their website. So how does this look? Someone comes to your website like this, they have an instant estimate, a schedule now, you might ask some questions on the instant estimate and you give them some type of a price quote. And then Schedule Now literally goes to an online scheduling tool, whether that's Jobber, House Call Pro, Service Titan, or somewhere that someone can schedule right now, because the time delay piece is hard. Imagine someone, reaches out to your business via a contact form and then you call them back the next day, or you text them and then they get back to you. If you could get right to the thing that they want, which is how much does it cost and when can you do it right away, it speeds up the process and builds a lot more value. So here's an estimate calculator that we built, for example, is like the type of service that someone wants, the square footage, the number of systems. We did this for pressure washing companies, gutter cleaning companies. Essentially, it's like, how much square feet is your house? And then, do you have gutter guards or not, or some other qualifier in here? And you're not giving them like, this is our price, right? You could say this is going to be $500 to $1,000 or something. You basically anchor your price, but you turn it into a lead and you move the perceived value forward. All right. Effort, calculator, simple form, sticky headers. So the biggest thing with effort is how do I make this so that they don't have to really do anything? So in pressure washing, as a perfect example is, imagine someone gives you their information, you go to Google Earth and then you pull the square footage and then you give them a price and you say, hey, do you want to do this or not? Like alleviate as much pressure effort as possible. So calculators work great for this. Simple form, sticky headers. I'll give you one other secret sauce. One is on your website, you want to make sure that you have sticky headers. So like on here, when you go to your website, about 50% of your website traffic is going to be mobile. So you don't want them to search around trying to figure out how do I work with this business. So if you notice here, we have get a quote, click to call, and a chat widget. You need to make it very easy for them to turn into a customer, remove the effort, remove the friction, they turn into a customer. All right, so that's how to build value digitally for home service businesses. The more that you can drive down the bottom thing and give transparent pricing, let's say you're like, I can't give pricing, via calculator. With this company, what we did was we just literally built a pricing page, and the pricing page says, hey, this is what drives prices up. This is what drives prices down. Here's what you should be expecting about how much things cost. And then you can see like, here's the difference, the other guys and then us. This is what it is. So I'm not saying you have to give, full on pricing, but anything that you can do to build more value that looks different than someone else is really good. I'm going to go into a script. Could you please make the content larger? Oh yeah, my bad. Let me zoom in a little bit here on this. Let's see. Okay. This should work if I just go like this. Oh, wrong way. All right. Next one that we got is going to be the script. So Grand Slam offer, I think Derek, you had asked this question about memberships. And the reason that I did memberships for $100 million offers is because I know that every single person wants to sell memberships, but they don't know how to do it. And this is how to do it. And this is not just like me coming up with this. It's, to be honest, it's like some Grand Slam offer stuff, but it's also Power Selling Pros, which Power Selling Pros is a company that is the #1 CSR sales coaching company in the country. And I had Brigham, the owner, on my podcast twice. And a lot of the stuff when I was doing this with the Grand Slam offer, which is what Brigham teaches, and then we also help coach our clients on as well. I'm going to go through this with you as well. So Grand Slam offer, memberships, recurring revenue, and even if you don't like Blissful Baths, you don't necessarily do bathroom remodeling memberships, but you can still take these exact same principles and do this inside of that. And specifically, I'm talking on this one from a call script perspective, but you can do this inside of your sales process. It's the exact same thing. So this probably sounds very familiar if you've ever built a membership. You have a home comfort protection plan. It's $259 a year or something. And it includes an annual inspection, priority scheduling, member only pricing, blah, blah, blah. This is pretty vanilla of what everyone does, but it doesn't build on that value equation from what we looked at before. And it also doesn't make someone say, I need this. And I'm going to walk you through how to actually make this better, and then also give you the script and walk you through the script. So the first thing is the dream outcome. It's not never worry about, it's not, hey, you need to get a new bath, right? We talked about that before. It's never worry about surprise breakdowns if it's in an HVAC world, or your home systems are always safe, efficient, and compliant. So basically add some type of a multi-point inspection, but explain you don't have to worry about surprise breakdowns because we do a multi-point inspection. Where up here, it's just like, oh, we do an annual inspection. It doesn't matter. The dream outcome is that I don't want to worry about surprise breakdowns. That's why we do the inspections. Increased likelihood of achievement. If we miss something and it fails, we fix it. Technician checklist. So same exact thing is that, oh, we have a breakdown protection guarantee. So if it comes between this and this, we'll actually come out and do this for free. In window cleaning, it's like, hey, we have this window cleaning protection guarantee. So if something were to smudge or some issue in between cleanings, we'll come out and take care of it for free or at a discounted price. Again, remember these ones is not as much of a value driver as these bottom ones. So let me go through these. Time delay. Same day or next day service for members. In a Blissful Baths example, it's like same day or next day estimates, emergency jump the line access, seasonal pre-bookings. Members never wait during peak season. I want to hit this part really hard because there's a huge opportunity for businesses, specifically in the time delay piece. And that is like right now in shoulder season. Every single customer, whether they're a membership customer or not, you could call them and say, hey, we're being proactive about scheduling service or cleanings for this year. We want to get you on the calendar. That way you don't have to be reactive when something happens. Like you can just say that. You don't even need a membership, and you can alleviate this time delay right away and instantly stand out as valuable, just like doing that right now. The other thing is effort and sacrifice. So, hey, you don't have to be home. We have a cleanup guarantee. Well, actually, if it's not clean, we'll send cleaners over to your home. So Blissful Baths, if we make a mess, we'll send cleaners to your house and clean everything up for you. There's no paperwork. All you do is just sign here. We actually have a portal where you can communicate with us via text, and we'll upload pictures with Company Cam and people can see everything. You don't manage your home systems. We do. These two here, as I mentioned before, will drive up a lot more value because people that are affluent, which we all usually want affluent people to be spending more money, they care about time and effort and sacrifice. And the more that we can drive that down, the more that they're willing to spend. So I'm going to give you a call script of what this looks like. And again, you could use this inside of your actual membership. Let me make this a lot bigger here. Okay. I just did this as gutter cleaning membership because I saw some gutter cleaning companies that were registered for this, but I'm just going to walk you through an intake process for selling a membership. You can use this same script if you were going to sell a bathroom or anything else, but this one is particularly for membership conversion. I'm going to actually pop this up here so that way y'all can get this as well. Call script, show. And if y'all click on that, you should be able to go to this. And yeah, let me just make sure this is good for you guys. Okay, yeah, it's good. I'll keep it up there too. If you need it again, just obviously let me know. All right, so the caller opens up. Hey, I'm calling to get my gutters cleaned. Again, the person is diagnosing their problem right away, which is pretty common in home service. Yeah, absolutely. We can help with that. I'll give you pricing before we hang up. Real quick though, what's going on right now that made you call today? Notice how we reframe it from like what's actually going on to them diagnosing themselves. And then the caller explains their gutters are overflowing on one side when it rains. This is their dream outcome revealed. Imagine you go into a sales call at someone's house. I want to get my bathroom modeled. Okay, well, why do you want to get your bathroom modeled? What's going on? Oh, well, my wife's been complaining that I need to get a new bathroom because da da da. Okay, that's the real dream outcome, is that your wife is happy with this thing. Okay, dream outcome unlocked. CSR reflects the outcome, reframing the dream outcome. Got it. So the big thing is you're trying to stop water from dumping over where it shouldn't and protect the house. That makes sense. Okay, so you're reframing the dream outcome for them. This does two things: shows understandings, frames the outcome. Number 5, authority and likelihood, calm, not braggy. You called the right place. That's exactly what we deal with every day. We clean gutters full time locally, and we've done thousands of homes around here. This is a very flexible issue. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you had us out to remodel your bathroom. We do this all day, every day. We're only baths. Our name's literally Blissful Baths. So we have done over 100, 1,000 in your neighborhood, blah, 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 building some credibility. The likelihood is going up. Dream outcome, likelihood unlocked right off the bat. Now we have 2 paths. This is where the Grand Slam offer comes in. So they called you. So there are really 2 ways that people usually handle this. Option 1 is simple. We come out, clean the gutters, clear the downspouts, and take care of the immediate overflow. Pause. Option 2 is what a lot of homeowners end up doing after dealing with this is a couple times. Instead of reacting every time it overflows, they put it on a schedule so it never gets to that point again. Now we go into the actual Grand Slam offer piece of it, which is driving those things down, the time delay and effort and sacrifice, and building the value. Introduce a membership casually, not a close. That's what our gutter protection plan is. It's basically a proactive version of gutter cleaning. Notice how it says basically no hype. This is how I talk when I built a script. This is like what I say when I was selling this stuff. Is it's basically a proactive version of gutter cleaning. Now you start stacking value. Here's what that looks like for homeowners. We clean your gutters twice a year, usually spring and fall, and every visit we check for loose brackets, leaks, clogs, and make sure downspouts are flowing. If we see something starting to become a problem, we handle it before it turns into overflow or water damage. This ties directly back to their pain point and their dream outcome. So we start stacking it. This part is very important. Reduce the time delay and effort. This is that bottom of the funnel piece. The other benefit is you don't have to remember to call us or worry about timing it around storms. We schedule everything for you and just give you a heads up before we come out. So imagine in the sales process for a bathroom, it's like, you went through the dream outcome, perceived likelihood of achievement, and then it's like, hey, and by the way, the time delay is that we actually do these, since this is all that we do, we can get these done in the next week or the next month or whatever that looks like, that drives down as much time delay as possible. And then the other side of it is effort and sacrifice. The beautiful thing is, do you work at home? Yes or no? Well, a lot of times people have to try to project manage these things. They have to, comment back and forth, send pictures, and it's a big pain. And then they have a big mess at the end of drywall everywhere. We actually send in a cleaning crew to come clean. And then we have a dedicated account manager to be your point person, project manager, whatever. Basically, you start driving all this stuff down, down, down. Value goes up, up, up. The guarantee likelihood of achievement. And if there's ever an issue between visits, like you notice overflow, members just call us and we come take care of it. Then you slap on another guarantee. We also send before and after pictures. This is kind of what I'm talking about. Just keep driving it down. Pricing, and then you get to the final close, which is, so pricing wise, a one-time gutter cleaning is $600. The protection plan works out to about $1,000 for the year. That covers both cleanings, inspections, priority scheduling, and any return visits if something clogs in between. Now, so really it comes down to this. If you just want to solve today's overflow, one-time cleaning does that. If you'd rather not deal with this again and keep having the same problems over and over again, the protection plan is for that. What makes the most sense for you? That's it. So I try to go through this really fast, but I try to give you the script so that way you can go through this and give that offer. A huge opportunity here inside of home service businesses to make this make sense for them. Again, as I mentioned, there's the digital side of it, and then there's also the inside of the conversion funnel piece that a lot of people get stuck on. So I try to give you both angles of the offer and then building value for your business so that way you can close more deals. In home service business though, we know that the offer is one part of it, but the demand is really what's there, and we need to capture the demand. And so that's why these next 2 books, the $100 million leads and the money models, I believe that if someone was to get these ones for their home service business, these would beat the offers one, in my opinion, because in home service, we don't necessarily have to create demand. We have to capture demand. We don't have to create demand out in the marketplace. We have to capture the demand that's already there. And the way that we do that is by these $100 million leads and then capturing the demand and making sure that it multiplies by using the money models. So I want to go through offers because I know a lot of people like that one and they get stuck on the offer side of things, but I think these ones are the big drivers of revenue for a lot of home service businesses. So in the $100 million leads book, he has this core 4, which is warm outreach, cold outreach, post free content, run paid ads. This is the 4 ways to get new customers. And I'm going to go through each one specifically for home service. So let me My Zoom is inverse on this, but I got to make sure this is good for you guys. All right. So when we look at posting free content, we know that home service businesses, 80% of people are still going to Google when they're looking for someone to work with. They go and they type in HVAC repair near me or something else. And from a free content perspective, we need to make sure that we are shown there. So there are 3 places right now on Google where they're showing this. There's the AI overview section, this is literally from AI search, which we're going to talk about a strategy for that. Then you have your map pack section, which this right here is from your offsite SEO, your Google Business Profile. And then we have on-site SEO here, which is what your website actually says to Google. And we're going to go through these 3 parts so that way you know exactly what to do for this. All right, so the first thing, we'll work backwards. So on-site SEO, when someone wants to rank an on-site SEO over here, they create what are called service area pages. So I picked the 3rd ranking one here, and you can see on this website, we have a service area page. And this service area page is optimized for Frederick, Maryland. This is where I live. So you see the title, Furnace and AC Tune-Ups in Frederick, Maryland, meta description, Frederick, Maryland, and then the H1, blah, 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 Frederick, Maryland. So as a business, you can create service area pages so that way your website ranks for these specific keywords that people are searching for. Pretty straightforward there. The next one is your offsite SEO. So this is your Google Business Profile section. So in here, if you notice that this company that we were just on, it's called Michael and Son, they are not on here. And the reason is because they are not located in Frederick. And when you're not located in Frederick or in the specific area that you want to target, it's one of the 3 qualifiers that Google looks at for this ranking. The first one is your name. So if you have HVAC, heating and air, something in your name, that's good. If you are located in that exact area that someone is searching for, Frederick, that's another sign. And then the 3rd one is number of reviews and ratings. So if you have more reviews than your competition. So for you as a business, if you go to your area and you evaluate this section and you see that someone has 500 reviews and 501 reviews and you want to be the 3rd spot, well, you got to have 502 reviews if everything else is consistent, name and location. There's obviously a lot more that goes into this. I'm just kind of running through his framework of more, better, and different. So that way I can give you the synopsis of this in a second. But essentially that is your offsite SEO. Now, when we talk about AI overview section, this is built off of the service area pages, but then also using real questions that your customers are asking by creating content. So if you notice, like HVAC repair near me is one, but HVAC repair cost is going to give you a different results. And you notice the AI overview, it's literally pulling from people's blog content. How much does HVAC repair cost in 2024? This is the old thing. This is why I'm kind of tying it all together with like having a pricing guide on your website. This is a common question that your customer might ask. You create the main content topic piece on this topic, which will help you rank in AI overview. And if you notice, it's the number 1 organic spot right now. And this is only going to be more and more and more for AI search. This is driven off of free content. And that's why I'm kind of hitting this home is that one way that you can know what your customers are asking is what we do is we listen to customer call transcripts, and then you get the actual customer questions. And then those customer questions, you can turn them into blog posts, into video content, into more content to help rank on AI search for real stuff your customers are asking. In the book, he talks about this concept of more, better, different. Do more of it, do better, and then do different. And when we talk about more, all of these things you can do more of. I think the biggest one is on-site SEO, like service area pages, service pages, and blog posts. There's a fine line between more and worse because Google doesn't want hundreds of these things on their website because they're going to look at it as spam. So they want one dripped out every single month on a slow burn, maybe 2, but they don't want it to be overdone. They'd rather have better and different content than more based off of like credibility and authority. So take more, better, different and look at it through the lens of what do they actually want on these platforms. But when we talk about like offsite SEO, get more reviews, get better reviews, have people put pictures in there, have people, write words in there, get different review platforms, not just Google Business Profile, but other platforms as well. Content, more content, better content, different. You could do way more content. I'm sure every single person on here could make more content about their business, answering questions. So that is the posting free content section. What I can tell you is that a lot of businesses that don't want to spend money on ads, they just focus on free content. They dominate the number 1 spot on Google Organic inside of their area, and then they create content on their website to dominate that section, which is fine. but it's just only one part of the core four. So the second one is running paid ads. And this is small, but I'm going to read this because Hormozi has a quote. You can tell how good a marketer someone is by how far out they measure return on ad spend. And if you watch any of his content, he's literally drilling people on like, what's your CAC? What's your LTV? What's your cost per lead? Like drilling them on their numbers, and you have to know the numbers. And this is probably the biggest issue that we see with home service businesses, that they spend money on these different platforms, but they don't have a full-on game plan for return on ad spend. And I'm going to summarize this whole section in one thing. Google LSA, search ads, Yelp, Angie, Thumbtack, home shows, Meta, YouTube mailers, in that order is what we would recommend doing from an ads perspective if you don't have a channel that's actually working for you. And always fight for return on ad spend as much as possible, whether that's with your agency and they're responsible for producing ad spend, like with LSAs and search ads, or Yelp, Angie, Thumbtack, where it's like, hey, my CSR is going to put this in my CRM and you guys can help with the automations to help pull return on ad spend. Whatever it is, work with a company that actually cares about this, because whenever you're slow, I'm sure you've been like, what should I do? And then someone tells you spend more on ads, and it's like, okay, cool. But like, how do I know that's going to work? And this is exactly what Hormozi gets to. And pretty much if you ever watch any of his live stuff, it's like, okay, what are your numbers? And then how do I know what to scale up or scale down and what to fix if you don't know your return on ad spend data and the numbers inside of your funnel? So when I talk about more, better, different, I would recommend first getting return on ad spend data, trackability, then do more of it, then do better, then do different. Can you spend more money on something that's actually producing 5x, 10x return? Yes or no? Running paid ads, I would say for home service businesses, is relatively easy once you have the data. Warm outreach. Okay, so this is a big opportunity. And I would say for most businesses, they want to do this, but they don't know how to do this. When I was at my $3 million home service business, when I came in, 1.5 million of that was through B2B partnerships. So they had 36 Google reviews. They were not spending like maybe $5,000 on ads, but they had no idea return on ad spend. And 1.5 million of their $3 million was all from warm outreach with B2B partnerships. We did duct cleaning. We would go out and find HVAC contractors to refer us. And that was part of my job. I would go out and build relationships with them. So what I can tell you is that if you're getting reviews, you're doing SEO, and like this is working, this is a slow burn. Okay. Takes some time. Running paid ads, you can ramp that up pretty quickly and have return on ad spend tracking and get that rolling. That's why Hormozi usually defaults to that a lot. Warm outreach, B2B partnerships. This is something that it takes time to do, but you can ramp it up pretty quickly. Like we had a remodeling company and we did a B2B partnership game plan for them. And we reached out to about 20 interior designers there in Philadelphia. We reached out to 20 interior designers and we send like 3 emails. So it says like partnership. Hey, I came across your website looking for a good interior designer to work with. And then within like the first week, the woman reached out and said, hey, I have a project for you. Can you meet me on the job site? And it was $20,000. And then what we do is we'll take them and put them into a B2B email newsletter every single month or every quarter or something. But basically, you need to have a game plan to build B2B partnerships. I can't tell you how many businesses we talk to and they say, hey, my number one lead channel is referrals, but they have no game plan to get more referrals. So B2B partnerships is huge. Warm outreach, same thing with your email marketing to your database, reaching out to your past prospects and customers, making sure that you're top of mind for them, calling them to action to cross-sell different things. Warm outreach is big. Text marketing, literally just picking up the phone and calling your database. Like what I said about, hey, we're just scheduling out our cleanings for the year. Want to see if May is good for you or June. Calling the database, they already know, like, and trust you. It's not weird if you call them and just check in on them. It actually builds value and shows that you care. We have a saying, you can't get lifetime value without a lifetime relationship. And that's really what this is. Building the B2B partnerships, building a relationship with your clients, having warm referrals coming into your business in a referral system. I would say more, better, different. More is having more B2B partners, doing more email marketing. Texting, you don't want to blast people, every week with an offer. It's annoying. So you don't necessarily want to do more of all of these things. Better, how could I make my messaging better? How could I actually build a partner pipeline that actually got them to send me leads? Different, doing different things to different people. Maybe you do pressure washing and then you go for siding contractors or roofers because they're around your stuff. There's a bunch of different things that you can do for this. All right, next one is cold outreach. And cold outreach, I'll keep this one very simple, is door knocking, cold calling, buying lists to call on residents. This is not our expertise from a digital perspective. As you know from running a home service business, this can work. but it's very, very manual, boots on the ground. I can say we had an $18 million roofing, siding, window, door company that we work with, and they built it all on door knocking. Like they had none of these other threes. It was just all door knocking. So this is a very viable thing for some businesses. I would say if you're lower ticket, it's not going to be a viable way that's going to scale your business, but it can be a mix of things. All right, so that's the core four: more, better, different. Pretty straightforward. Do more of everything, then do it better, then do it different. If it was me, I would start with free content and then run paid ads with return on ad spend tracking and B2B outreach, and then layering cold outreach on top of that. All right, let me see. Any questions in here? Let's just make sure that y'all are all good. Okay, cool. We're good. I'm live, so if you have questions as I'm going through this, just let me know. We'll have some section time at the end for Q&A. The last book here, though, $100 million Money Models. This one has a special place in my heart because I believe that for most businesses, it's not a lead problem. It's an actual revenue systems problem in their business. And the reason is because a lot of times we're just focused on the attraction piece and not actually pulling people through the funnel. Can we get a recording? Yeah, the recording will go out after this, so no worries at all. I know I'm going really fast. I try to pack as much in, but yeah, you'll get a recording of this afterwards, so no worries on that. You should be good. All right. The reason that has a really, really big place in my heart is because a lot of times we're just focused on the attraction and we have some upsells, but we have no downsells, and continuity, which is like memberships, is an afterthought. And there's a lot of opportunity for us to get way more juice out of every lead that we get. It's not just a one and done relationship. It's an actually pulling them through and making the most money out of this that we can. All right. So essentially, these are the different models that he has: attraction offers, upsells, downsells, continuity offers. Using attraction offers to generate leads, which I'm going to walk through all these, specifically how they correlate to home service business. And I'm going to give you the offers. Leverage upsell offers to maximize revenue per job, provide downsell options to capture hesitant buyers, secure customers long-term with continuity offers. Every single person in here has all of these things that they want to do. And then these are the offers that we can layer in on top to make this happen. So the first thing we're talking about is attraction offers. And the first one that he mentions is giveaways. So giveaways is an oldest HVAC contest. Let's say it's the bathroom remodel, free bathroom remodeling for one lucky winner who's over 65 and needs assistance or something. A roofing contest. I'm sure you've heard of roofing contests like roofs for veterans or different things, wounded warriors, roofing contests. This is to drive leads. And then lawn care sweepstakes. Submit your lawn for free 12 months, miracle makeover, blah, blah, blah. Essentially with giveaways, this is what he does. He says, run a giveaway offer, get it out to everyone, have a bunch of leads come in. The first place person wins your giveaway. Everyone else wins second place, which is one of these other offers that we're going to go through. But it's essentially the giveaway is a quick way to get leads. And we actually ran this for an HVAC contractor. They were spending $7,000 on ads and their cost per lead was like $250 or something. We said, hey, why don't you give away an HVAC unit for $7,000? And even if we get 30 leads at $7,000, it's going to be way better than whatever you're currently getting. So we ran that game plan. They got, I think 35 leads from it. Their cost per lead was $200 or something. It basically cut their cost per lead in half, and they had a second place offer going out and they made a bunch of money. That's how you can think about giveaways. I think that is a huge opportunity for a lot of home service businesses. They miss out a lot on this. Before I go to the next one, I'm actually going to drop this giveaway thing that I have on here. Let me just go over here and I'm going to add this. That way y'all have it. The offers. Where's my text? Okay, here we go. 14 offers. I'm going to show this. This should be on there. It's this thing right here. Basically what we did was we took this and we turned it into what you need to do, like 24 giveaway ideas. Here's all the offers. And I'm going to go through them as well and break them down. Let me just get to this question real quick. You're doing a phenomenal job, Phil. Thanks, Ben. Love you, man. Appreciate the kind words. Jonathan, being one of your clients, I have a pricing page on the website. Do you think an on-site estimator would be need or value for us? Jonathan, I think you do tree care. I think tree care wise, I would say it's better to get pictures and it's better to then go back and forth with them, because it's really hard to say this tree pruning is going to cost this much or whatever. I would say the pricing guide page is really nice, but I would say that an estimate calculator may not do it. And that's exactly why, like Charlottesville Gutter Pros, the example. Oh, landscaping. Oh, MSG, my bad. We have a couple Jonathans. Landscaping. So with landscaping, I would say no. I would say it's very similar. Like we need to get eyes on it. Like with Adam, for example, he's the same way. He didn't want to have an estimate calculator. So yeah, I would say no. I think it's better to have a pricing guide and then maybe submit a picture and we can get you a quote. Yeah, because there's so many variables. I mean, you do so much different stuff, So yeah, I would say not to. Is there any way that you could share some of these documents or presentations for review? Yeah, after this, Lance, you're actually going to get a recording of this, and they'll have these links to everything on there, so you should be good to go. All right, let me just make sure. Okay, we're good. All right, attraction offer 1, giveaways. Next up is the decoy offer. A lot of times home service businesses already do this. Free leak detection, $29 service call, free entry point inspection. Basically, get them in the door with a dispatch fee or something free and then sell them something afterwards. This is kind of what I was just telling Jonathan was like, get them in with a free estimate or a free evaluation and then go from there. So that's the decoy offer. We kind of already do this. Buy X, get Y free. Gutter company, buy gutter guards, get 1 free gutter cleaning. Book a full home exterior window cleaning, get free interior cleaning of 1 room. All this goes into it. What I would say is whatever these offers are that you have, you should make them your front point offer. And when I mean front point, let me just show you on his website. Like if you come up with a really solid offer, have it as a pop-up on the website. Okay, here his pop-up should come up. Yeah. Buy 3 cleanings, get 1 free, an average savings of $449. And then you can see, yes, I want a free cleaning, put the information in. And this is the reason that I'm thinking of this is because this is exactly what this is. Buy 3, get 1 free, gutter cleaning, have this as your go-to offer right when someone hits your page, because you're going to lead with this offer and you want to attract people in. It's truly an attraction offer to come right in. So that is an attraction offer. Pay less now or pay more later. Lawn care, season or aeration, fertilization package. Jonathan, I think you actually do this, which is, hey, if you prepay for the year, then you get a discounted rate, which I think there's a huge opportunity for a lot of people to do this. If you have like 2 cleanings, fall and spring, you could pay $900, or you could pay $750 and you get both cleanings. And then you'll also get pre-scheduling for your service in January. We're going to call you, get you on a schedule, blah, blah, blah. It's a win for everyone. So pay less now or pay more later. It's really good. Let's see, Sarah. Instead of a pricing guide, would you ever do it as a blog post, not linked anywhere on your site? So Google hopefully picks it up, but it's not a heading on your website. Yeah, that's fine. I think the biggest thing is 87% of people make their decision offline. And then when they go to your website is when you can really pack on the value on top. And I don't want to hide that in a blog post. Like, obviously I want Google to scrape it, but I want someone to come to my website and see my pricing and say, wow, like I'm so pumped that they actually showed this to me. So the more that you can build that value on the front end, right? Like what we talked about, that value equation, the better. So I would prefer not to hide it on a blog post. I'll prefer to have it front and center. Like, here's my pricing, or here's a pricing guide for you. I'll give you guys one other secret sauce one on this. If you get price shopped on calls, hey, how much does it cost to do this? How much does it cost to do that? Tell them, I'll give you a price, but let me send you over our pricing guide, and then text them the pricing guide or email them the pricing guide. And now you have a thread that you can communicate with them on. It's a huge opportunity for a lot of businesses. This is exactly what I faced. We did duct cleaning. So everyone called and was like, how much does it cost to get my ducts cleaned? And it was over and over again. And we kept losing all these leads that we were paying for. So we made a pricing guide and a calculator, and then we sent it to them and said, hey, here's a video of exactly what we do. Here's our pricing guide for you. And then we could follow up on that text thread. So really good way to use your pricing guide and not just have it buried in a blog post, but actually use it to get more deals coming through the thing. Thanks, Damien. Appreciate you, man. I always try to bring the value, man, because I know that this can be really sticky out here. You got all these books and things, but how do you actually apply them to your business? All right, so that is attraction offers. This is great in shoulder season. I just showed you shoulder season, buy 3 cleanings, get 1 free, whatever you do. This works really good in shoulder season to pay less now or pay more later. I mentioned the lawn care example. Hey, it's January, cash flow's tight. Let's do this now. And then, get the money now. Instead of $200 a month, pay $1,500 if you prepaid before spring begins. So good. That's my summary on attraction offers. I think a lot of people do the decoy offer. They don't ever layer in some of these other ones, which I think is a huge opportunity for their business. Giveaways already crushes. I did a whole live event on giveaways. The next one is upsell offers. A good home service business already does 3 of these 4. The last one would crush it for them. I'm going to go through the first 3 pretty quickly. Upsell offer, classic upsell. Well, you can't have a new HVAC system without a UV light. You can't have a new hot water heater without a safety expansion tank. We already do this. Menu upsells, good, better, best. We all already do this. Anchor upsells, lead with a $20,000, big ticket item, and then downsell from there to, hey, by the way, actually, you don't need this. You probably need this. Anchor upsell, so that way you can downsell to something else. All already do this. This one we don't do, and I'm telling you, it would crush it for you. If you take something small that someone already bought and then roll it into something bigger and give them a credit for it, it will give them the reason to buy something bigger. So imagine you have a customer on a $250 a year maintenance plan, and after 3 years, you credit them $750 towards a new HVAC unit, hot water heater, generator, furnace, or something else. It's just like running a $750 off promo. It's just changing the words. I'm going to say that again. It's just like running a $750 off promo. It's just changing the words. In their mind, they've already paid you $250 per month, and now it's just changing the words. So imagine in landscaping, Jonathan, if someone had a saw job and you're trying to sell them and they're going with either you or someone else, and it's like, hey, you're a part of our maintenance thing, it's $1,500. So we'll actually credit you that $1,500 maintenance plan, and we'll do the saw job for you for whatever the price is. So you get a bigger ticket item, and you basically give them a phantom promo, but it all makes sense in their mind. And it's like, you're trying to like do, something good for them. I'm not saying not do this. I'm just saying the way that you present it to them is huge for a rollover upsell, which Hormozi talks a lot about in the gym space, is these rollover upsells to have like a challenge for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And then you roll over that into the bigger ticket thing. And then you get them on the bigger ticket thing. Huge opportunity for every business. If you have any small ticket thing and you make it a reasonable rollover upsell, naturally you need this next thing, and let's roll this over to this as a credit. Works every single time. I think that it's great. It just takes a little bit of maneuvering inside of your money model. That's the summary on that. We already do 3 of those 4. Downsell offers. This one, we kind of do this as well. Have payment plans. So if you don't offer financing, offer financing. You'll close more deals when you do it. It's not like, people are trying to finance it like a car. But having the option for people is a good thing, especially if they have no HVAC. If it's more really, really demand heavy and someone doesn't need to save up for it, having a payment plan works. Trial with penalty. So your first mow is free. If you continue, the monthly price is $150. Instead, if you don't continue, it's $150. Instead, if you were to sign up right now, it's $120 if you sign up upfront. So basically, you're trying to get them to the point of like, hey, we do this one-time cleaning for $150, but if you sign up now, it's $120 going forward for the next year. Or free first-time tune-up, but if you join the payment plan later, it's $25. Basically trying to give them a reason to sign up now instead of doing it later. I think this one's decent. And then feature downsell. Window cleaning. Hey, you get the full package. Interior, exterior screens, tracks is $500, but you could downsell to exterior only for $250. And you basically have a feature downsell, which is you set the stage really big and then you feature downsell so that way you still capture something else. Roofing, you can get a 50-year warranty, premium shingles for $18,000, or you could just get the 25,000-year asphalt shingles for $12,000. Feature downsell, pretty straightforward there. I think most sales-focused home service businesses are going to do this. So nothing crazy there. This is the piece that everyone gets stuck on, okay? So I think I probably say the best for last, which is continuity offers. And continuity offers, everyone wants this in their business, especially home service. But unless you're like HVAC, plumbing, or electrical, and I would say HVAC is like the gold standard for memberships and continuity offers. This part is really gold. This is probably the best thing that I read for home service businesses, that if you get this, like there's no way that you can't grow. So the first thing is giving a bonus. When you sign up for an annual maintenance plan today, you get a free smart thermostat. When you sign up for our biannual cleaning, you get a free downspout cleaning. When you sign up for a membership plan, you get a new hot water. When you get a new hot water heater, you get your first 2 hot water heater flushes for free. Something that takes the relationship from a one-time transaction and builds on top of it, a bonus offer. The reason that the Money Models book, in my opinion, is like what I was saying, is the #1 book that is going to help grow home service businesses, is because if you layer each one of these offers into your sales process, you have the attraction offer up front, you have your CSR on the phones doing the continuity offer, and then you have your salespeople that are doing the upsell and downsell offers. There's no way that you can't grow your business and drive up your average ticket. So the continuity offer, I would say, is more a CSR focused thing, in my opinion. And then also you can have your salesperson. But the reason that I think that CSR does it is because the continuity offer is best presented, in my opinion, at the point of problem. And I'm going to get to this in a second, explain why. But Bonuses make sense. Discount offer, join the membership plan and get your first 3 months for free, includes priority scheduling, enroll in seasonal gutter maintenance program and get 50% off your first cleaning. Roofing, sign up for a roof inspection plan and your first year is half price. Basically, give them an offer at a discount that makes sense for their business. This is why the CSR can present this stuff, because the CSR is scheduling it, but they're also setting up the technician. So it's like, hey, by the way, the script that I gave you is a CSR script. You can enroll in our seasonal gutter maintenance program and get 50% off your first cleaning. This is the exact example that I just gave in this script. It's just framed a different way. You could get a one-time cleaning of $600, or you could get our seasonal gutter maintenance program and it's $1,000, 50% off kind of thing. You can structure it however you want. All right. Let me give you this last one here, which is waived fee if you commit to a longer term. Waive the $199 initial inspection fee when you sign up for our platinum 2-year service agreement. This one comes up all the time with dispatch fees. And you basically waive the fee if you commit to a longer term. So, hey, I get it. You don't want to pay the dispatch fee. No worries at all. That's exactly why we have this protection plan. Because if you sign up for the protection plan, then you don't have to pay this fee and we take care of it. So sign up for this fee. Sign up for this protection plan. We waive the $150 setup fee if you sign up for a 12-month plan. Waive the $75 soil test if you enroll in a full year treatment package. You're basically giving them a reason to become a continual customer while giving them something. This part right here, I'm telling you, if you just lock in on this and figure this out for your business and how you're going to articulate to the customer, there's no way that you can't grow your business. All right, I gave you guys the 14 offers here, so that's good. Y'all got that. Let me go back here. All right, so I mentioned this right at the beginning. $100 million money models, use attraction offers to generate leads, leverage upsell offers to maximize revenue per job, provide downsell options to capture hesitant buyers, secure customers long-term with continuity offers. Now, what do you do first? And I started this at the top. In-home service demand already exists. There's demand out here. You don't have to go to Facebook and try to create demand for your project. People don't wake up wanting an offer. They wake up with a problem. And we are uniquely positioned as home service business owners to solve people's problems. What we need to do is make them aware that we are the best fit for them by driving up the value. So sub $1 million business usually don't have a demand problem. They have a lead gen problem. 1 million plus businesses almost always have a leverage problem. They rely on 1 to 2 lead sources. So they rely on only paid ads, but they have nothing else. They rely on only door knocking, nothing else. They only know run more ads in some regards, but they don't have anything else built out. They don't have layered money models, attraction offers, or value-based positioning from a digital perspective. And you can get to $1 million, you can get to $5 million that way. But eventually you're going to want to build out this whole system with 4 different ways to attract customers, having the different layers of the money models, having the digital stuff up front. So what do you do first? If leads are the issue in your business, do the leads model. You can go back and watch this again. And like those 4 core ways to get new customers, do more, better, different, and go for that. A lot of people, when I talk to them, they've never done the B2B partnership thing. I know that that's $1.5 million plus in a home service business. And like, instead of paying money to the Google gods or whatever ad platform, that is a very good way to get leads coming into your business pretty quickly. And it's sustainable. It's not algorithm. It doesn't matter if they change their algorithm. If seasonality is the issue, money models is the thing that you would want to focus on, because if you get crushed in shoulder season, if you just fix your money model, you will fix that issue. You will have an attraction offer to create demand when it's slow. You'll do a giveaway in your shoulder season. You'll also have continuity offers, so that way you can stack January, February, March as your busy season. Like money models will solve seasonality. If conversion differentiation is the issue, go to the offers one. I mentioned about how to stand out from the competition, having calculators, having resources, online scheduling. All those things are different than, most private equity companies that are going to have this stuff. So go to the offers one and do that. And once you're past $1 million, you're going to need all 3 of these things working together. It's not just tactics and isolation. It's like a whole system that's working. And you as a business owner can't be the only one that's driving this stuff inside of your business. So if you're not $1 million yet, don't overthink this. Go win with leads game first. But once you cross $1 million, run more ads, stop working. And you need a marketing company that can design offers, money models, and lead systems, not just spend your budget. You could work with us, or you could figure out a company to go work with.